Welcome back to the RSBuddies Podcast. We've been friends for 15 years because of RuneScape, and we like to yap about it. My name is Max, or MDGScape, and my co-host is Zekzer or Dalton.
Yo, yo, yo. Today we are going to be doing something pretty interesting. We're going to do a tier list of all the skills in RuneScape. Old School Runescape, at least.
Yeah, we did a tier list. What was our last tier list? It was pretty cool. I think
It was
people liked it.
bossing all the bosses.
Oh, yeah, we ranked every boss. We could probably link that in the description if you want to check that out. But today, yeah, it's going to be cool, and we're going to rank every skill. We have like a bunch of different categories, so it's not going to be like so straightforward. And we'll go over those. But also, just want to thank you guys. We're not going to do a weekend review of this episode, but did want to thank everyone who came and checked out our first stream. We streamed our pack locked group Ironman accounts, and we had a really
Massive
good time.
opening. Massive opening.
Yeah.
1,000,000 points. Crazy.
It was fun. The opening will be in our next video for that series. But yeah, if you guys want to check out our stream, we'll be live probably again at some point.
Yeah.
So make sure you subscribe and look for that.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Man. Like, comment,
Let's
subscribe.
get into the tier list.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
So we are starting out. I'm just going to go in the order that is here. Let's start with Hunter. What do you think about Hunter?
Hunter. It's a good one to start with, especially because it got such a big update today.
It did. It got a massive... It actually got some really nice QOL today. Right after I did the massive Hunter grind on the account, which makes me put it in F tier. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I think Hunter has had a huge resurgence, in my opinion.
I agree.
We're really learning it because we didn't really get a chance to play the early game after our group Ironman too much. And I will tell you that moths and butterflies for the early game are insanely OP. Like, they're so good.
You know, I was thinking about it, and when I played my first Ironman ever, which I still have somewhere, I grinded out 83 Hunter, and that was like my big grind to get Dragon Implings and to get glories and Dragon Bones and stuff. And now Hunter is like something you grind early for totally different reasons on an Ironman. And it's really cool. I don't know, the evolution of Hunter is kind of crazy. Like, I was there for release way back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's come such a long way. It's such a different skill, but it still has the same feel, I think. And it's just better.
Yeah, I think it's way better than it used to be. It used to be just like, we talk really far back in the day, hunt red chins, like tick manip red chins until 99. And it's come to the point where like you can do red chins to 99 through red and black chins. You can do hunter rumors. You can do bird houses, which I guess you can't really do them anymore, actually.
Yeah, they kind of killed those. There was a long span of time where Hunter was just for mains, for irons, for everyone. Hunter was just do birdhouse runs every so often.
Yeah, and now
sad.
Now we talk about like hunter rumors and even like crab hunting, which I thoroughly enjoyed when I did it for a little bit. These things give you really, really valuable resources in the way of the paste for potions for Armadillo brews, in the way of birds' nests and coins with the loot sacks. And I don't know. I think Hunter is a really good skill now.
I think it's one of the best ones in my opinion. My favorite skill, not to jump ahead, but my favorite skill by far, obviously, Slayer. I'm a big Slayer guy. And with the Hunter contracts, they made it like skilling Slayer, and I absolutely love it. I've done like 600-700 contracts on my main. I've done a bunch on leagues. And there's also, not to mention, there's like 4 or 5 pets now from Hunter you can get.
Yeah, I don't like that, actually. That's like my least favorite thing.
I don't think it's
Hunter.
great, but like I don't think it's a good like example, but it's good. It's nice, like at the same time, I guess. I still think they should all be like combined into one where you could like transmog it. But...
Yeah, it should be Mogs that you get, like, for sure. And you should be able to get the Hunter pet from any Hunter thing instead of just chins. But where are we gonna put Hunter? I'm
putting it at.
Go ahead. I don't think I'm gonna agree.
No, you go. I don't think we're gonna agree either.
I think I would put it in high A. I was not gonna go for S.
I think S.
Really?
Yep.
You think Hunter's an S tier skill?
I would have said like, okay, there's a huge problem with early game Hunter, and a lot of the stuff is just useless. Now there's kind of like a reason for all parts of Hunter. They've made it. This is the final thing it needed to make S tier to me. This update this week. sweep up.
I'm going to give this to you, but that means that I'm not going to give up everything later
Okay.
because I don't agree with this at all. I think it's a high A, but S seems crazy to me. But I'm not going to do mage yet. We'll put mage with the other combat skills. Let's go to woodcutting now. How do we
Uh,
feel about woodcutting?
Again, forest. I think a lot of people have problems with forestry, but forestry helped it in my opinion. And there's a lot more like with all the sailing stuff. I find myself like wood cutting on my iron when before it just felt like a even when like there's a point where I could cut magic logs or U logs. It never. I always felt like I might as well just get this resource from like PVM or something.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like there's a reason to cut logs now.
Okay, besides
So
I agree that there's reasons to cut logs. But aside from reasons to cut logs, what about the skill progression? Like I think it's pretty dog, to be honest with you. It goes from it's
yeah,
completely AFK the whole time, which I know is a good thing. It's like a good AFK skill, but it has no real training methods until you get teak trees. That's like an actual training method, and then bloodwood trees, which are an actual training method. So, in my opinion, the progression of woodcutting is like really bad, even though on a vibes level, I think woodcutting's like really high. Like the woodcutting vibes are really good, if you get what I'm
hmm.
saying. But
Yeah, I do.
and I think woodcutting is like a B tier skill. I think it's useful in the late game just for sap. I don't know what else I would need besides like
Yeah.
building my boat.
That's the thing. I guess if I'm like not careful, I'm gonna go through every skill and just be like, yeah, I like it. I love this game. I like skilling. I like,
Yeah.
and they've made it better. But yeah, woodcutting. There's something to be desired with forestry. Like a lot of the events are pretty bad in my opinion.
I think forestry was a
Um,
mistake. I think that forestry should have just been the tree timer thing, which was awesome. I like or like a
yeah,
couple events like rising roots and the leprechaun, so you could turn in like I don't know. I would have been totally okay if they're like we added this one event to woodcutting that can happen. It's a rising roots event, and it lasts for like 10 minutes or something. And it's like
that's
it's a
yeah.
dynamic event, and this is what forestry is. Alongside, and you get all the bark from that, like that's the event. And alongside with that event, the tree timer increase that they have, which I think is really good. The tree timer thing I think is awesome. Instead of being 1 in 8 to knock down trees, they now are all on specific timers, so it doesn't matter how many
Yeah.
people are cutting them
And you get a bonus for cutting with other people now too. So it makes it more of a like there's a reason to be.
on the same tree.
Yeah, I think if they knocked out like the bee forestry thing, the dryad one, a couple other the yeah, a few others, the pollen bee one and the beehive one. I mean, yeah, it would be a lot better because so I like the fox one. I don't love the pheasant one, but I like the golden egg. I don't know. You're right. I would say
B
B or
tier.
even C tier. I would say C tier.
I'm with you on C tier. I'm with you on C tier, I think. Upon thinking about it a
Cool.
little bit, I think we're that's a good settling point. Thieving. Oh boy, thieving. I don't know how you feel about thieving. I think this skill is ass.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Like, okay, let me play out a scene really quickly for the audience.
Yep.
Imagine if Vampirium released, and instead of just like this desolate place with nothing besides a boss and some skilling methods, there was houses like there is in like Darkmire with
Hmm.
vampires who live there, and you can thieve from these vampires like you do wealthy citizens, and you could go into their houses and like have and like steal blood shards from their houses at a certain rate.
Hmm.
Thieving,
Almost like they could make it like how Draken chases you around and you're breaking into these houses and trying to
yes,
get around. But
their
like, yeah.
thieving is in such a bad spot. Nobody likes elves or vires, but like on an iron, you really feel like you have to thieve vires because the best way to get blood shards. Nobody likes them. They were literally like a botting paradise. It's only people who were doing them that were like not Iron Men. Um, the constant failing is horrible. Thieving would be
Hmm.
really nice. Okay, I'm never going to beat the shill accusations.
Oh boy.
RS3 has thieving correct. you click the mob and you keep thieving from it until you fail. Like, I don't know why that system's not implemented into the game. Because I don't think that like spam clicking a mob should be considered a mechanic. Like, it just
Yeah, I kind of
doesn't
agree
make
with you.
sense at all to me.
To me, it's turned into I just I foot pedal thieve everything while I'm working, and that's not like that's just more like clicks that you know what I mean? It doesn't
It
take any
doesn't
more
do
skill,
anything.
doesn't take any more
Right.
focus really. It just yeah, that's a good point. I think personally I'd like to see more things like I guess it's maybe not super old school RuneScape, but I'd like to see things like have you ever played you played Elder Scrolls on online, right?
Yeah, I played it for a little bit. Like, I didn't really get into it, but
Do you remember the lockpick mechanic in
n-
that?
no, like I didn't get that deep into it. I just like power leveled. I was like teleporting around the map, power leveling with this group of people. I don't know. That's all I
Yeah,
was
it's like
doing.
a lockpick mechanic where there's these tumblers and you like pick the lock and you can feel when the thing's about to pop. So like you like it starts to get a little bit I don't know, it's just it's a really good it feels good to pick lock these chests. And if there's something like that where it's like active and like slightly skill based and I don't know, I think that would be cool. Maybe it's not really old school RuneScape per se, but
Listen, I do feel like that like Varlamore thieving was like a step in a really good direction for thieving,
yeah.
but we need to implement this like across the game in some way. Like the other stuff really sucks. And honestly, like I would much rather do like like rogues chests than thief. And the rogues
Yeah,
chests are really good, but it's like why don't we implement that across the game at like lower levels and like stuff and along those lines? I just don't understand why we're still doing thieving this way. Like
I
especially for
agree.
high end thieving. I want to put thieving in F tier.
F tier, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would I mean, if anything's gonna go in F tier, I would say that's up there. Let's put it in F for now.
F for now. Uh-oh. The next skill is a
Oh, this is gonna be a
contentious one.
controversial one. Yeah.
Sailing.
I have some strong
You
thoughts.
go ahead. Strong
So
thoughts.
I will admit that I think there could be so much more to sailing, but they wanted to establish this baseline skill. I think they fumbled a lot of things. It took way too long to fix the combat, all this stuff. I think it's in a much better place than it was, and I also think the things they did like really well.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as a skill goes, I think because people forget, like sailing is a skill at the end of the day, and fire making is also a skill where you just light logs on fire. So when you think about a skill, I think sailing's really good in general. I think the progression of it's really good. Like, yeah, it's annoying. 1 to 30 takes forever, but you get to experience every part of the skill, so they paced it really well. You can do all the courses, but then you have salvaging in between. Like, there's room for every part of sailing in the skill, and I think that's really smart and really well designed. So I think it's great.
It
What about you?
also opens up useful things for the early game. So
Yeah.
just the ability to get around to these islands and do these things, the new fishing spots they added, trawling is really, really, really beneficial, really good moneymaker.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, dude. I think sailing's an S tier skill, like by far. Like compared to the
Whoa.
other skills,
Yeah.
like what like I know that like okay, they fumbled the bag for sure in the beginning, right?
Hmm.
Like it wasn't perfect, but how many iterations of all these other skills have we had?
I know, right?
Like stuff has changed constantly. Crafting just got changed. But these changes are so small, right? Like we're adding a new crafting method. We're adding a new mining boss. We're adding a new fishing boss, a new fire making boss. We're adding a new rune crafting mini game. We're adding smithing mini game. These things all got added in like really incrementally over like 13 years.
Hmm.
Sailing dropped with most of all that shit out the gate.
Yeah.
And it feels like almost sailing would have done like 10 times better if combat wasn't even in the release of it. Like there was no combat. And you,
I agree.
because I don't know about you, You were probably making videos about it or something. But like on the way to 99 sailing, I barely touched combat. It didn't even feel like it needed it. Like I was salvaging, I was
Yeah.
doing like all this other jazz, and the combat feels like an extra thing that like needed to be refined more. And now that they've put a lot of time and effort into pinning it down, and in my opinion, the combat's in a good state right now. Like it's
It's
totally
a
fine.
lot better.
It's a lot better than it was. You don't just have thralls in your boat anymore. You're using your cannons, which is cool. You get like good loot, good progression loot from all this stuff.
And the XP adds up really well from the port tasks and stuff.
Yeah, bounty tasks adds up.
That's
And
what I mean.
even port tasks too. Now they're adding loot crates to port tasks to give you some other stuff. I just don't. I think there's a lot of hate for sailing, and I think it's really unwarranted. I think it's like
Yeah, I
crazy
will
unwarranted.
say if you find yourself typing a comment like sailing sucks, I hate it, and you haven't put a decent amount of time into sailing, you should be fucking ashamed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
I remember on release I had a clanmate who blocked me because he's like absolutely melting down about sailing, and I'm like, "What level are you?" And he's like 23. I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding? You have," and this was like a month or two into release. Like a lot I was like in the 80s or something. It's like you haven't even tried this shit. And I feel like everyone griping about sailing hasn't gone out there and tried it, which I will admit it is a little bit overwhelming and daunting to say, "Oh, I have to get a boat and build all this stuff." And like there's a barrier to entry with it compared to other skills. But once you do it, it's so good and so useful, and it's a good skill. I don't know.
I'm also gonna say that this might be another like slightly controversial thing that I'm saying right now. I have some of the most nostalgia for anything in RuneScape for the launch of sailing. And I
Yeah.
don't know why. I can't control why I have nostalgia for it. But it was that moment where everyone was doing the same thing all on the ocean. It's all anyone cared about was sailing for like 2 to 3 weeks.
Mhm.
And it was awesome. It was
It's really
so
cool.
cool, man. And going into a skill that nobody knew anything about and just like
Yeah.
figuring shit out, looking at all the islands. Like, isn't that what the game is about? I had that childhood nostalgia feeling discovering stuff again. And you
I
can't
agree.
keep that forever, obviously, because now you know metas and all that other BS. But like, that is valuable into some sense. Like, it is.
And it's really hard to recreate that too. Like it's really, really hard to do that for any game. So
And you know what? Down the line, you never know. They might add some Sea of Thieves in RuneScape, which I would be happy about. We've talked about this before.
yeah, that would be great. Or some crazy PvP out on the seas, or
Right.
some really cool PVM. But like for now, I think if you look at it compared to other skills, like it's a great skill.
I'm putting this in S tier.
And if you're gonna say anything bad about sailing, leave your RSN. I'm gonna look you up, and I'm gonna publicly shame you
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
all.
not
You
99.
know what it is? It's almost like most people that comment on stuff and are like really negative actually are the ones who haven't experienced any of it.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's
I think just
generally the
give it a
case.
shot. Yeah, I wish they could be there for that like launch. It gave me nostalgia for the game itself, and now I have nostalgia for the thing releasing. I don't know. It was cool,
It's very cool. Let's move on to your favorite skill, Slayer.
which is Slayer, dude. I love it. I love it. I'm pushing 100 mil Slayer across my accounts.
Yeah, it's a lot of Slayer. One imbued heart.
Um yeah, and it was recent too.
um, I think now, I think if we made this tier list a month ago, I would be arguing with you about Slayer being A tier.
Hmm.
Because the meta for Slayer used to be do Curadel. Oh, sorry, I'm spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Do Duradel until you get a task you don't want. So you were going for Araxites or Smoke Devils, or like if you're going for XP, like Necreals, Abyssal Demons, stuff like that, Dust Devils. And if you're going for Heart, you would go for Araxites and Smoke Devils only. That was the only task you should do if you're going for Heart. And if not, you were
Yeah, it used to be Abbey Demons and Smoke Devils, and then they canned Abbey
yeah,
Demons, and now it's just
Araxites. But and then what you would do is if you didn't get one of those tests, you'd go to Turiel skip the task, and you would do that on repeat until
Hmm.
you got the task that you wanted. But they added a cool new guy that you unlock from the sailing skill, um, Mortimer,
Yep.
and he has completely changed the sailing meta, or not sailing, Slayer meta in a really good way.
Yeah, I think so too.
The fact that you don't have to tutorial skip at all with him, and he gives you like options, and once you get 3 options, it's pretty much like you're literally picking exactly what you want from the task. Oh, I'm going for XP right now. I'm going for heart right now. I'm going for clues right now. Like that
Hmm.
is the experience. Honestly, let me be honest, that's the experience every Slayer master should offer. Like
Yeah.
like there's some sort of situation where it's like, here's 3 tasks. Which one do you want to pick? And maybe no modifiers on them, but here's
I
3
think the
tasks.
modifiers is great.
I think, do you want to hear my maybe hot take?
Yeah.
I like the modifiers, and I think that should be like the only mechanic, a Mortimer only mechanic is modifiers. But I think every other Slayer master should get like a choice between tasks. I think that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
that's fair. I think that could be something that would be unlocked. Mortimer's weird because like you get the choice, but you don't get any Slayer points for completing tasks unless you pick that as the modifier,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's really expensive to skip. I think yeah, there's a place for all the Slayer masters for the most part. So
Right.
I don't know.
I really
I
like
think
Slayer now.
I think Slayer does need some love. Like I really have they mentioned a boss Slayer thing like years ago. They never put that in. They kind of flopped Partner Slayer. But
For the
just in
second
general,
time.
like yeah. But just in general with Slayer, like it's I you might not believe me because I'm maxed on my iron, I'm almost maxed on my main, and I've done a lot of skilling, but I'm not a skiller. I've never been a huge fan of skilling. I kind of do it to, achieve goals, but Slayer's always been the only skill that I can just do all day and never get sick of it. And I'll do it in ways where I'm like really only doing bosses and where I'm doing, fun tasks or hunting things or hunting keys. But it's just like it's the only skill that doesn't feel like skilling to me.
Yeah,
Um,
that is how I feel about it. And I think, honestly, the thing that captured that most again was sailing. Like, I went straight to 20 mil sailing XP, going for like
yeah.
random shit. So, like, to me, these 2 skills, I think Slayer has its issues. I think the progression, like the boss progression of Slayer, is not very good. I think the fact that you get like Grotesque Guardians at 75 and then it's like 87. I know they added the Dire Griffin or whatever, but it's like 87 for the next, or 85 for Krakens or something like that.
Hmm.
And I do feel like
87, yeah.
Slayer bosses could go for like a rebalance almost. Like,
Maybe.
I think that you could move a lot of these Slayer bosses down. Like, you could move Kraken to 79 Slayer. You could move um Serb down to like 83 Slayer. And like you could like drop all these things down a little bit so that like you can get the bosses earlier in the progression. Because I think doing the bosses on task are really fun.
Yeah, especially now that the Sir boots are not the end all be all, you know what I mean? Like you got to get another pair of boots to put them together. It'd be nice to have them a little earlier
Yeah.
in the grind. Yeah, I think they could rebalance levels too, and then that would mean they would probably want to make spiritual mages a little bit lower too.
Yeah.
But I think in general, and it's the same. I think we glossed over some of the problems with sailing too. Like sailing's, I mean, they fixed a lot, but a lot of the stuff is so rare. Well, they've kind of fixed that.
Yeah, they did fix it a
So
little bit.
I don't know. There's no
Um,
perfect skills, right? But Slayer to me is like the best skill by a long margin.
Assuming S tier then.
Yeah, of course.
I will say we are explaining these skills very well. We got to shorten it a little bit
Okay,
because
you're
we are
right.
going to
Yeah.
have a 3-hour pod talking about these
Jesus.
skills.
Okay.
um,
Well, you're picking. I feel like you picked a few that
yeah,
we have the
yeah, I
most opinions on.
did.
So,
I'm going to move this over here a little bit. Rune crafting. What do you feel about rune crafting?
would have been F for a long, long time. I think it's moved up maybe one.
To like D, right?
Yeah, I think Scar Essence made it not so like a prison to me as well. So,
You know what's funny to me? I think
what's that?
Scar Essence should be like close to what runecrafting just is in general. I think runecrafting would have a
Mm,
lot more merit if you actually got like a decent amount of runes from doing runecrafting.
Yeah, I
Like
think they could up it a little bit. Like the robes help, but I
like
think they could
could
up it a little bit.
would it be crazy if I was like just double all the rune outputs that you get and like quadruple bloods? Like make bloods, make you the top end you get 4 bloods and everything else gets quadrupled. 8 death runes per essence. Like nobody's doing that shit. Like actually
No,
nobody's
I
doing
know.
it.
I think they should hike it all up. Like with elemental runes, every 10 levels you're getting like an extra rune. I think that should be more of a like a it doesn't have to be, with catalytic, it could be like every 20 levels you get an extra one, but there should be more scaling to it.
It's
It would
just
make it worth it.
yeah, it would make it like actually worth being like, oh, maybe I will go make blood runes for an hour and get like 8,000, 10,000 blood runes. Like, is that the worst thing in the
Yeah.
world? That's like 2 mil GP an hour or something. Like, it's not
I
that
mean,
big
you
of a
do
deal.
make something like 6, 7,000 an hour with the robes and the blood essence, but blood essence makes blood runes kind of the exception there.
All right, so yeah, okay, that makes sense actually. But all I'm saying is, without Guardians of the Rift and Scar Essence Mine, this would be like the hardest F tier skill ever.
Yeah.
It
I
has,
think D is like a little generous, but I would put
I,
it D-ish.
I think that it doesn't really serve any purpose in the late game. It doesn't. I mean, it does at 77, I guess, but that's with like like that's super duper late game when you have like a lot of extra GP on an iron that you can just like pour into runes.
Mhm.
Mid game, it serves actually no purpose. I don't. You just do Guardians of the Rift because you need to get rune crafting up so that you can do the Karamja diary. Like that's the reason you're doing it, right? It's like I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Guardians of the Rift gives good stuff, but is that really rune crafting or is that a mini game? You know what I mean? It's like it's a
That's what I
mini.
was thinking too. I think it's part of it,
Well, it gives you the
but
lantern now, which
it's
helps actual rune
it's
crafting. So
yeah. And now the lanterns, a lot of people feel trapped by the needle and the lantern there too, but they've made that a little bit more reasonable. So I
and they
don't know.
made
I
them
think I think
purchasable. So
D's fair. That's what I mean. They
mm,
yeah. I
okay,
think D's fair.
the best skill in the game, mining. Just kidding. It's not the best skill in
Uh
the game.
yeah, it's bad when like the thing that a lot of people choose to do is like AFKing for 20k XP an hour or
It's
whatever
horrible.
stars is.
It's horrible. Like what the best thing that came from mining was Volcano.
Yeah, I learned about Volcano one day after I hit 99. You can turn it on to XP and you get like 100k XP an hour and still have unique rolls. I learned about it the day after I hit 99.
Yeah, that
Um,
is like that Volcano change was really solid, especially because you still get the unique rolls. That is really,
yeah.
really good. But what purpose does mining serve? Can we? Is there anything in the late game that you like really want mining for?
No, you don't use it to gather resources pretty
Amethyst.
much.
That's it.
Amethyst is a good example. Yeah, you're right.
But that's it though.
Yeah.
We talk about F tier here for mining.
I think F tier.
No
Yeah, I'm
good
comfortable
training
with that.
methods unless you're tick
Volcanic
manipulating.
Mine's okay, but they've made it so that nobody wants to learn it. It's like it's not intuitive at all. No one ever you can never find a partner. So yeah, and that's half of Blast Mine's dead content. Half of it's dead content.
Yeah, completely. Completely agree
Yeah,
with
F tier.
this.
Good call.
Agility. What do you think about this? Actually, pretty useful in the early game nowadays. Um,
Yeah, pretty useful all the way through, really, with the
mm,
shortcuts, a lot of the ones they just added
I
and
will say, I think that I think our opinion on how good shortcuts are might be slightly skewed right now because we're playing these like
yeah.
weird niche accounts that don't have a lot of teleports.
Hmm.
But like on a normal iron or a normal main, on main, agility's actually piss useless almost, besides shortcuts, because you can just buy stamp pots. And
Right.
on an iron, you might get Herblore to 77 because you put all your XP lamps and everything into it before you get agility up anyway. So it's like it's useful early, but like it peters off mid to late for sure. And like it's really useful super late for like specifically Chambers of Zarek, right? Like
Right. Agility is
anything
one of
and
those ones
Duke.
that doesn't feel like, "Oh, I'm getting more powerful." It feels like you're fighting against like being useless. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
it
do.
just it doesn't feel it's horrible and repetitive to train. Sepulcher is like a good attempt for them, I think, and a lot of people like it, and I think people would consider it good skilling content in general, but
Yeah,
like
a lot of
that being
people
the only viable thing, it sucks.
people consider Sepulcher to be the best some people consider it to be the best skilling update ever, like
Yeah.
Sepulcher. But does that move it from F tier though? That's the question. Just one.
I would kind of put it in F tier. Yeah, there's no way. I've never enjoyed. I'm training agility right now, and I want to jump off this pyramid. It's like it's just not it. It's just not
It's
it.
just not it. All right, well, let's move on to some combat skills here, huh?
Okay.
Prayer. Prayer, prayer,
Rare.
prayer.
I don't know.
I will say the combat skills are kind of funny because they're obviously useful, right? They're useful at all points in the game.
Yeah.
Prayer is uniquely useful at certain breakpoints.
Hmm.
Like 44 or 43 is a massive breakpoint for prayer, right? 52 is a massive one for like pures. And then the Giants prayers, which I don't remember, I don't have their levels up, so I don't know what levels those come at. And then they're really useful at 70, 74, and 77, right? When you have the other prayers.
Right.
Um, I think that the training for prayer is okay. I think it's fast, but I vehemently dislike that to get the best XP rates in this skill, and it's not by a small margin either,
Yeah.
is to go into the wilderness, go to the chaos altar. It's actually twice as efficient as anything else besides like ecto functus, which is like 400% XP. The wilderness altar's 700. So you need to get half as
Yeah.
many bones on like an iron or even a main, which is like it I hate skilling or doing something where I constantly have to look over my shoulder. I hate it so much.
Yeah, I like having the option, like good options in the wilderness.
Right.
I'm not someone who minds the wilderness, but I think like arbitrarily making the only viable thing in the wilderness is kind of stupid. Like, I don't know. It's to the point where you're right. No one's going to, even if you dislike the wilderness, you're still gonna go and do that compared to like going and doing it in a house because it's just such a big difference. I don't
All
know.
I will say Varlamore kind of made prayer like with a lot of skills that we're about to talk about, Varlamore made them a lot more like approachable and viable. Like
Hmm.
you do Varlamore activities, you just end up with a lot of blessed bone shards. You just end
Yeah,
up with a good amount that gives you like a good amount of prayer XP. I think that's really nice.
I do
Um,
too.
I think it was a really good way about. I think they did a really good way of going about it by giving you bone shards and like sun-kissed bones and like wormling bones that transfer more into um like bone shards than other bones do. So
Right.
like I think they went about it in a really good way where you're kind of forced to do the bone shards. You can mine the bone shards.
Yeah, you'll get him from hunter contracts, a million things, and it's good for mains too. You know what I mean? Like they're untradeable, they're great prayer experience, they're easy to use. Yeah, I think that's good. I will say one more thing with prayer, in my opinion, is that it's like incredibly diminishing returns, and yeah, we know how levels work in RuneScape. It's like, it gets harder and harder to like get higher levels. And prayer is one of the unique things that the training methods are basically the same all the way up,
Yep.
and also in terms of like XP per hour and
Yep.
just what you're doing, and you don't really get a bigger benefit at the higher end of the skill. It's like I know so many mains and so many people that are just like they've been at 90 prayer forever. They have no inclination to go to 99. There's no benefit at 99. It's just there's no point. What do you get, a holy wrench on your cape that you're never gonna wear? Like
Yeah, you get
there's
like
nothing
you get
good
a
from
holy
getting
wrench, you
99.
get slightly longer prayer lasting, and I don't know, a combat level or something. I mean, oh, your potions restore more prayer too, which are like
Yeah, there's breakpoints for that too, and it's very minimal.
very minimal
So
benefits. Yeah.
there should be like more of an exponential curve with maybe how prayer drains, like how agility, drains slower when you're higher agility. Prayer should drain a little bit slower when you're higher prayer, on top of getting extra doses, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I never heard anybody say that before. I didn't even cross my mind until you just said it. Like if prayer gave you like longer, you just had like more. I guess more time or something,
Yeah.
right? With it, be very
There
good.
needs to be some kind of like reason to, push it higher.
Yeah, I agree with
It's
this.
not.
I agree with this hardcore.
So yeah, where
I
would
think
you
prayer
put
should
it?
be
I'd
B
put it like
tier.
B tier.
Yeah,
I was thinking D or C.
No, dude, it's so useful. Think about the actual usefulness of it,
It is
though.
useful. You're right. It is useful.
Like, I know that
Um,
like some of the shit
okay.
sucks, but like
What
it's
about C?
bro. How's this?
Okay,
How's
B.
this? How's this? Imagine playing the game without woodcutting. Who
Yeah,
cares?
who
Imagine
cares?
playing the
You're
game
right.
without prayer.
That's a good metric I didn't consider is how useful it is. Yeah, you're right. B tier.
B tier. Okay, now let's go to magic.
Hmm,
Okay, I might have a hot take on magic, but I don't think it's that hot of a take. One of the most useful skills in the game
definitely.
has tons of unique ways to train it. Has
Hmm.
it's perfect utility. It's perfect for combat. It's perfect for PvP. It's perfect for everything that you do. You could choose to train it fast. You could choose to train it AFK. It's probably, in my opinion, the most useful skill in the entire game to get levels on. I can't imagine another one.
Hmm.
I think Mage is just like a straight up hardcore S tier skill.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, I think they've done a great job at developing all of the spell books, which is cool. I just think that I feel like I have a problem with mage, but I just don't really know what it is. It doesn't feel S tier to me, that's for sure.
I think that Mage doesn't feel S tier until you think about how much it actually gives you.
I mean, it's incredibly useful. It's like, every spell book is like incredibly useful. It's really the thing. As much as you're deciding on what armor set to wear everywhere you're going, you're also deciding on what spell book and what spells to go to take everywhere. So,
Yeah.
in terms of utility, I think it's almost as high as it can get, but it doesn't feel, I don't know.
It's like best in
I would say A tier, but I could see why you would say S tier.
you want to 50-50 it? You want to rock, paper, scissors, shoot and be honest?
Sure.
Ready? Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors.
Scissors.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock.
Rock.
Damn it. God damn it. God damn it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock.
Scissors. Ah,
Ah,
fuck. Okay.
that's tier, S tier, S tier, S tier, S tier. Yes, yes, yes. I did
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I'm glad you were honest there. I'm glad you were honest there.
Yeah.
Cassie and I, little tangent, went 27 rock, paper, scissors in a row.
No
Same
way.
thing. I calculated the
That's like
odds. It was
statistically
impossible.
impossible.
I was like, Cassie, this is not possible.
You guys must have like linked your brains up or
Yeah,
something.
13 years together will do that to a person.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
attack.
Attack.
Um,
To me, attack feels like the least important out of the three
yep.
melee things. I don't know.
I think melees are kind of funny because it almost feels like melee should just be like one skill. It should be like attack and strength should be like one thing, and then defense should be like separate from it. Like in my
Yeah.
weird take, I guess. But I don't know. Attack just feels like nice. I can equip stuff now, and I'm a little bit more accurate.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess the equipping is the big part of it, right? It's not as much the
yeah, but
accuracy
it
as
just
getting the
feels
levels
bad
up.
to train too because you're like training and you're not getting any more power while you're actually training it. You're just like eventually hitting a break point where you get a stronger weapon. I don't know.
Hmm.
Every
I
time I have
think,
to train attack, I feel like ugh, I have to train attack.
yeah, I'm with you. I think on a main, it's different, or like so it defines a lot of the like the peers and PKing brackets. But I think on a main, it's like, oh, you have access to all these weapons, so it's just a matter of getting the level. So attack feels more important. But on an iron, most of these weapons, you're gonna get the level way before you get the weapon, so it doesn't feel as important.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. What do you want to put it at?
I put it at like maybe like a B,
Yeah, I'm with you on B. Like you need to be able to equip
even
weapons.
C.
I think C. Yeah, I'm with you on C.
Okay, let's leave it there.
Strength.
I have some strength is good vibes, good nostalgia
I
for
would,
me.
dude. I was gonna say the same thing. Strength
Hell
for
yeah.
some reason. Oh, I hit harder. That's all you need. I don't need new weapons or other shit. I just need to hit harder. That's it. I love it. I think strength's an A tier skill.
Yeah,
No,
I
just
think
like
I would say A tier. It's always been my first skill cape to get on every account.
thick
I don't know.
vibes. Like just nice to hit harder. It affects every weapon, right?
Hmm.
I I don't know. Let's just slap that in A tier. We don't need to fully
I think so
describe
too.
all the combat skills because they're kind of
Yeah.
like even like defense. Like where are we at with defense? Like nice, I
I
can
think
equip
that
better
it's like
armor. It's like a
in
tech.
between the two, I would say.
All right, we want to. I really don't feel like we need to elaborate that much on some of these where it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just B tier, I think.
It's kind of a mix of the two things we just said, I think so. I think
HP, it's like nice, I have more health. Like you can't
yeah, I would put that
specifically
around
train.
attack maybe.
Yeah, like cool. Range, ooh. I love ranged.
I like range too.
So nice. The weapons are so
Yeah.
cool. They're fun to
The weapons
use.
are cool. It's like
Hit from far
I
away.
don't know. It's also the first mega rare.
Ooh. I think, in my opinion, range goes with strength.
I was gonna
Range,
say, yeah, I would say it's not quite as useful as magic because magic has so much utility outside of just combat,
yeah,
but it's up there.
ranged is what attack and strength combined should be, because it gives you
Yeah,
your ranged weapons and your ranged strength in one, and it's
you're
like
right.
beautiful. It's like a beautiful little poly. What's it? I was
Yeah.
gonna say Polly Pocket. What is that? Is that like a
That's like a old 90s girls toy, so I don't think that's what you're trying to say.
ah? I don't know why that was in my mind. How do we? Let's move on to actual skills now. Smithing,
Okay. Smithing has always felt really bad to me. I don't know. I've never been a huge fan. I think
horrible.
also like the progression of it's really bad. The fact that like Rune, the free to play armor, is like in the 90s and even 99 for some pieces is so stupid. And like, yeah, we were talking about this other day. Like DFS is 80, but like a Rune plate body's 99. Like, what are
Yeah,
we talking about?
and the how they validate it is just like with like to make raw materials into armor, it requires more finesse than turning like putting two pieces together. But it's like, I don't know. Like
Wrong.
I don't buy it, dude. I don't buy
Yeah.
it at all. So
It needs a total like crunch down of the like the armors, I think.
get ready, RS3 shield time, RS3 shield time. It needs total rework. Like mining and smithing need a rework
I
that goes
agree.
together. And the way RS3 did it was there's now it's like every 10 levels you get something now, and it's all just tank armor. Like it doesn't have any stats besides tank armor. So you still don't
Hmm.
use it everywhere, but it allows you to do like smithing progression all the way to 99. It's
And you know what? It wouldn't
better.
even like a lot of that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel like RuneScape or losing the old school thing. I swear, half the people who like don't skill or aren't like super in touch with everything, if you're like, did you know it's 99 to smith some rune stuff? They'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
There's no way that's true. It doesn't feel like an essential. I mean, the armor sets obviously do, and crafting them does, but no one crafted those back in the day because no one had that level. It
It was
wasn't
like
like,
RuneScape Classic is where it came from,
yeah, I don't know.
which is
It's
not a
silly to
valid
me.
reason to keep something around. Like nobody has nostalgia for smithing. Like everyone just has
Yeah.
anger for smithing, I feel
And
like.
I thought Giant's Foundry would be the savior, but dude, I don't know why that place burns me out so
Dude, it burns
bad.
a lot of
I'm
people. A
not a
lot of people
fan.
don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. I mean, a lot of people like it. I'll tell you what's so dumb about Giants Foundry while we're here on smithing. If you wanted to incorporate Giants Foundry into smithing, and I think this is what Jagex would do nowadays if they had the opportunity, you would make it so that making your bars into like plate bodies or whatever would actually like benefit. Like you don't lose XP. You like double up on it because you're technically spending more time anyway smithing other stuff.
Yeah. It's
So
so weird
it's
that like
dumb. And you
it's
make
worse to
money.
make your bars into stuff and then to make it the foundry.
You also
Yeah.
profit on like Addy and Myth bars by like a large on all bars except Rune Addy are all swords. You profit like a large margin. Like it's like crazy. It makes no sense at
Hmm.
all. It's just
I
weird.
could see profiting if it was like, yeah, I turned my expensive bars into less expensive plate bodies, and then I did the slower process of turning them into like giant
Right.
swords.
Right.
But like,
I just don't understand why they're like, yeah, no, bars are just the best way. It's like, no, how about we make people do traditional smithing and then they can use those like things to like add to
mhm,
this. Like you shouldn't even be able to add bars into it. That could literally is a solve. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
But
I don't know. Yeah, I
F
would put
tier.
I think I was gonna say D maybe for smithing.
Yeah, it's not on mining, thieving, or
No,
agility.
it's
I'm
not.
kind of reconsidering thieving while it's sitting next to mining and agility. I'm going to be honest with you. I think
You
it should
think
be.
move it
I
up?
think it should be D tier.
I'm comfortable with leaving at D tier.
I just don't think it's as useless as like agility and mining or as ass. Like it's
And I think the
ass.
vibes are better. The vibes maybe bring it to
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Construction.
construction has always been my least favorite skill. I hate
But
training construction. I hate training construction. I know it's so fast. I hate
but
it.
it's extraordinarily fast and it provides insane utility, right?
Yes, that's
Like
true.
crazy. Like if you don't like every iron's like one of their top goals on an account is getting a maxed out house, right? Like
Yeah. It's so much utility.
it's
Almost as much as it gets.
yeah, it's like more than magic by like a long shot.
Yeah.
Like if this were my personal list, and I know you're not going to do this because you don't like training it, construction would be an easy S tier skill just for its utility.
I
But
think it's S tier in terms of utility. It's F tier in terms of how I like to train it. I swear, I'll go if I want time to slow down, I'll go do construction. I'll do like 15 minutes and swear I've been there doing it for like 2 hours. So even though it's like 700, 800k XP an hour, it may as well be like 100k XP an hour because it just feels that slow. I hate it so much, dude. I hate it.
Mahogany Homes is good though.
Yeah, do that for cut your experience by 2/3.
All right, where do you want to put it? Where do you want it?
I would put it at C tier because of
Ooh,
the average between utility and how much I like the skill. There is some nostalgia to it. Like I remember when that one came out too, and I remember like being in school and like planning out how I was going to build my house and stuff. And
the green pixel on the construction thing. I see it right
yeah,
now.
the
I
green
don't know. I think
pixel.
C tier is egregious.
I figured you'd say that.
I think that's like egregious. Can we like?
Where are you thinking?
I was gonna put construction on S. You're gonna put it on C. We gotta
S.
find a middle ground. Okay, I'll put
I
it on.
think
I'll put it on B because I do think the training of it is like not great.
it's not interesting at
No,
all.
I agree with that. Like the leveling of it sucks, and its
Okay, let's go
usefulness
B.
after 83 is not like anything anyway.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
go
let's go
B.
B.
I'll go B. Cooking.
Cooking is my other one that I always got early, but that's just because it's like I don't know,
AFK
it's
and
just
free.
there's nothing interesting to cooking. There's nothing interesting at all.
I
There's so much they could do to make it interesting.
Yeah, and I think that restricting I'm so iron pilled, but restricting like irons to having to cook one food at a time is like so insane to me. Like, can we just
Yeah,
not give me XP for it anymore and let me cook like 5 food at a time or something, so I don't have to
I'm
spend
with you.
like we talked about this with sailing. It's like they release all this really good useful food that you want like tens of thousands of, and then you have to spend tens of thousands of hours cooking it all, and it feels so bad. You're like, oh,
Yeah. I mean as an iron, like I'm happy to do my herb runs. That's what I signed up for. I'm happy to make my potions. Happy to do all the like, I'm like AFKing tiers and AFKing fishing and doing all this stuff. Cooking just feels like a waste of time. Like there's just nothing to it. You know what I mean? It just
completely,
feels
yeah.
yeah, I think like it should be a skill, yeah, but like you said, I think even if let's say I were to take a 40% burn rate in order to just put all my food in a thing in like a cooker and come back hours later, I would take that. I just it just feels like a waste of time.
Yeah, because like the fishing methods where you got that food are actually interesting, so you'd rather go do the fishing. Like trawling's actually good and interesting. Like that's
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just processing the resources for the
I
sake
think
of
it's like
processing
a
them.
D tier skill because it does have use, but
Yeah, I think D's about generous, and that's really just the utility.
just the utility of it. All right, we're down to our last 6 skills. Crafting.
Okay.
Crafting.
What do
Uh,
you think?
I think crafting is only useful on an Iron Man. Like that's it. Which I guess you could say about a bunch of these skills. I
Yeah,
think
I think you could say
okay,
that about a lot.
if I just was like, what's crafting? I'm like C tier. Like that's where my brain goes. It has a lot of good stuff though. Like it, like on
I
an
would
iron,
say
it's
C
super
tier as
good.
well.
Like on an
Here's the
iron.
thing.
Go ahead.
Crafting suffers from like with smithing, it's like, oh, it'll never be useful for me ever to make rune items. Like that's never gonna be useful. I'm not gonna make them to wear them. Crafting, a lot of crafting is, oh, it's never like even on an iron, let's say, it's never gonna be like I'm gonna go find a way to get a black d'hide body from something else before I can craft a black d'hide body, almost always. Or like I'll go find a different way to get a glory or an amulet of power or strength before I can make it on an iron. I feel like or another example is the Huey hide armor. Huey's like a low to low mid tier boss, and then like why is it the crafting requirement so high to make it? I guess part of that is like getting the gear when you do, but it's like crafting I think just suffers from it not quite lining up with like progression in the game.
Yeah, I agree with this. Crafting becomes extraordinarily useful at like 90 plus, like 89, 90 plus. Because then you can make your Zenites, you can make your Fury, you can make some like random other stuff, like make your Necklace of Rupture if you're going for that. And it suffers because the scaling on those things is so high. It almost feels like a Fury should be like level 80, and a Glory should be level 70, and a Power Amulet should be level 60, and then Strength Amulet could stay at level 50. Like that's how it feels to me. And
What's
then it
about
would
I think you just listed the levels.
no, I listed the levels down 10 levels.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Like it's crazy to me that to make a let me just make sure I'm right, but to make a glory, it's 80 crafting. Like to make a
Yeah.
fury, it's 90 crafting. It's like I understand that these were in the game like way before that, but wouldn't it make sense if we just dropped all the amulets down 10 levels, like diamond amulet? Like okay, here's a really good example of why I think this. A diamond amulet is harder to make than an onyx ring. An
You're
onyx
right.
ring is 67. A diamond amulet is 70. Like, does that make any sense? No,
No, it doesn't. I
none.
don't know. I'm trying to think about these things from like I know people are going to be like, "Oh, you guys are Iron Man, that's why you're saying this." But like why not make a skill make sense? Like
That
even
exactly.
just because you can buy items doesn't mean it doesn't need to make any sense. You know what I mean?
Completely. Completely.
They're in the game for a reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think crafting is a C tier skill
I agree.
completely. So
Yeah.
we're gonna put it on C. Let's do that.
Maybe even B, just utility. No.
I'm so uncomfortable putting crafting next to construction.
All right, we'll put it at B. You're right. Or C.
Um, Farming.
Uh, I don't know.
Yeah, me either. I don't know. It's fine. Like it's fine. Like how what did it really give you? Herbs, which
Herbs.
are useful, obviously, but like there's no real active way to train it. I don't know.
Yeah, tree runs are just like using resources for XP, which is fine, but it doesn't make it a good skill or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't make it a good skill. It doesn't. I don't know. It,
It feels like I hate things in games that are like dailies or weeklies.
it feels like a
Like
daily.
you have to get on to do this, otherwise you're gonna fall behind. It feels like that. So I don't think that's great. And RuneScape tends not to do that kind of thing. Farming's like one of the few exceptions. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Put it at like D maybe
I
or
think D. Yeah, I
so.
think D is right. Okay, I fire making F. F.
Fire making sucks ass.
Fire making
That's another
sucks.
like you're just using resources to use resources. It's not
Useless.
really. I feel like it wouldn't be I mean, by today's standards, it wouldn't be a skill.
No,
You know
not
what I
at all.
mean?
Not at all. Yep. I think it's F tier. Like just horrible. The only way to do it is through doing Wintertod or just like burning a bunch of redwoods in a line. Like that's dumb as
Yeah,
hell.
it's
I
terrible.
know you do bonfires now. Hella slow. Like, a hot take: make the bonfires as fast as making the fires. Who cares? The skill's already fucked and broken anyway.
I mean, yeah,
Who gives a
I don't
shit?
think that's necessary, but like, I don't care one way or the other. I guess I
Right.
don't know. Fire making could stay at F. I'm good with that.
Another
And
F.
Winter Tot's like almost not even part of it, right? Like it's like a boss technically, but like even if you give it Winter Tot, it's still an F.
Yeah, that's the problem. All right. Fishing. How do we feel about
Fishing's gotten a
fishing?
lot better since sailing, I gotta say.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. Fishing provides, it didn't actually used to provide food because of boss tables, right?
Right. Still
Now it
doesn't
actually
provide
does
that
in a
much.
late game, at least. Like trawling gives you a
Yeah,
lot of food per hour or fish per hour.
it's really good. And also like yeah, now these fishing spots that don't move all the time, I really like.
So we'll say that in the hyper late, not hyper late game, but in the later game of your account, fishing becomes pretty useful. But early on,
Useful and also yeah, I think but it's also like you get a lot of raw food from bosses and stuff still. So it's like foods that are kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a
like a niche
they're
food,
you
or
don't need them, but they're really nice to have. A
I don't know, I can't think of the word
luxury.
either.
They're
Yeah,
like a
luxury
luxury.
food. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think fishing also has good vibes because back in the day, you used to see people with fishing capes,
Yeah,
and you'd be like, "Holy shit, that guy spent years of his life doing fishing."
right. Yeah, there's I mean, everyone jokes about going home and fishing lobbies after school. Like that's what we did. We did that. I would get a my parents would set a 45-minute timer and I could
And,
fish
and
lobbies
I
and then it went up
fished
to an hour.
35 lobsters in
Yeah.
45 minutes.
And then I'd take longer to sell them at the thing. But yeah, I like it. I like fishing. I've
See?
always been a big fan.
Be seeing it.
C, I think C is fair.
Fletching. Fletching. Another. I think fletching's
Kind
dog
of a
shit.
stinker.
Yeah, I think it's dog shit. I think
Yeah.
people complaining about sailing, I'm thinking about all now that I'm actually hyper thinking about all these skills. Bro, sailing's awesome. I'm just saying. I'm reiterating. Sailing's awesome.
Yeah, because people don't think about it like this. They just think about it as like, oh, you're supposed to make amazing content. You're supposed to make like there should have been raids on the water. Like that's not what it was supposed to be.
What do you want to put fletching? I mean, it's good. Veil totems is really
Hail
nice.
totems is a little bit better.
Veil totems is a cool way of doing
Useful
it.
wise, it's kind of useful.
It's a wrist breaker. Like
It's
when
a
you do it.
wrist breaker. Yeah, the clicking's crazy. It could go D or F for me.
I think it does have a little bit of use, so let's put it D.
Yeah, let's put a D.
Last skill, probably one of the most useful skills in the game, herb lore. How are we feeling about herb
Uh,
lore?
it's never been my favorite to train, but it's like pretty fast. I think the stuff from mixology made it a lot better.
Yeah,
Even just like
100%.
for mains, because like it lets you do 27 potions per inventory or 26, whatever. Which is I think a really nice change. But mixology sucks, so take that for what you will.
Mixology sucks, but the way I look at herb lore is that like with herb lore, you like don't need to do agility if your herb lore is high enough, right? On an iron specifically, obviously. It like allows avenues into other skills you wouldn't otherwise have with like hunting, extreme hunting potion or super hunting potions, super fishing potions,
Yeah,
anti poisons for boss fights. Um,
incredibly necessary.
incredibly necessary.
It's
Obviously,
one of
all
those
your
skills you
combat
cannot
potions.
imagine playing the game. Like a non-combat skill that you can't imagine playing the game without pretty much is like
It's got to be
that's
A
a lot of
tier,
utility.
right? It's got to be A
I would
tier.
say it's A. Yeah.
Any move,
Uh,
and I think it belongs in A. Is there any
that makes
movement
me
you
think
want?
construction should go up because it's kind of the same fundamentals. It's a little less
I didn't
useful,
move it. I
maybe, but
didn't move it.
I don't know.
Is there anything you want to move?
Anything jumping out at me?
Anything at all?
Mm, Rune crafting can maybe go down one. I gotta be honest.
I agree with that. I think a D or F is fine for rune crafting. I'm looking at fire making down there with these, and it's funny because like I think rune crafting actually would be a more approachable skill if it was faster to train and it'd be like higher on the rank because it'd be like you could actually access some of these runes like in the earlier versions of the game like you
Hmm.
can with like let's say fire make rune crafting was fire making rates, right? Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Then rune crafting could be like, okay, well, this is actually kind of useful because you don't need to spend money on blood runes. You can actually go like make blood runes in Zaya or something.
Hmm.
But like, you can't because
Right.
it's so slow to train that you like your accounts progressed way far past that by that point.
Yeah.
It's so funny because fire making is that XP rate and it offers you actually nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Right.
think about you can incorporate fire making cooking where it's like, oh, if you have 90 fire making, you could burn a redwood log, you could add it into the stove oven. And now you can cook 5 food at a time in the stove oven. Like there's so many ways like
Yeah.
incorporate it all together. But I don't
I have
know.
2 quick questions for you for
Sure.
this tier list. Besides sailing, because I think a lot of people are going to have problems with sailing. We know that.
Yeah.
I mean, we keep hearing it all the time. What do you think is the most controversial one on here? And if you had to pick a skill to add to the game, what would it be? Those are my 2 questions to leave you this with.
Ooh, controversial. I think like full controversy. I could see people really liking farming. Um Also, oh, I know what's controversial. There's two. Can I do two that are
Yeah, do
controversial?
2.
Um Hunter and Slayer, I think, are very controversial in S tier.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
I think those two skills, a lot of people don't like Slayer. Like a lot of people. And
You know
Hunter
what's crazy? I could
feels
see
bad.
moving Hunter down to A tier.
I think we should move Hunter
I
down to
know I
A
really
tier.
fought for it, but I think you're right. I think let's move Hunter down.
This seems better to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
what
So,
skill would I
okay, if
add
you
to
had to add a skill, this is
the?
such a tough one, dude.
I
It's
know
such
the
a tough
answer.
question.
Not for me. It's not.
Really?
Nope.
What do you got?
No,
Oh, I know what you're
sir.
gonna
You
say.
know what I'm gonna say probably. If I could add a skill to this game, it would be a skill that was proposed, and it was shamanism.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Because shamanism is old school RuneScape version of RS3's invention.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say invention. So I
That is
guess it
what
is
I'm
both.
saying. I would add shamanism because shamanism was pitched as RuneScape, old school RuneScape's version of invention, which for people who don't know, invention is a skill where you break down armor pieces for their components, kind of like you do with Bandos, Arma, and all that jazz, and you use those components to augment your weapons. And what it does is it allows things that would never be useful ever to be useful. Like it'll always be useful to go to Barrows. It'll always be useful to go to Bandos because those components could combine together to make a really strong augment for your weapon. That's what invention was all about. And it was
Mhm.
RS3's way to save old content without making the armor pieces actually like still best in slot or still useful. They made it so that, oh no, they're still valuable to do these things because you're going to need these components, even to the point where you're doing medium clues for clue specific items because they give you fortunate components, like, and those fortunate components are used for things. So that is something that I would for sure add a version up to the game. It's why I voted for shamanism over sailing. um,
Yeah,
it's funny to think that if like there was like literally like a 0.3% difference, shamanism would be on this screen right now somewhere
that's
over
crazy. Was it that
sailing. It
close?
was like literally the smallest of margins. It was like 500 votes or something total. Like it was like
Damn.
a
I
really
I
small
wasn't
amount.
I so wasn't I picked sailing actually. I think I had visions of Sea of Thieves, I think too.
Yeah, and
Um,
also taming. Let's just talk about taming really quickly. If you don't think that they were just going to go down the summoning route, you're out of your
yeah,
mind. Like that, and I don't want
that
that.
that was my thought just now when I was thinking about that question, like what would I add? But it just doesn't feel RuneScape. It doesn't feel right. It changes the whole but they've balanced things so carefully and it just drops a nuke on the balancing of everything. I don't know. I don't think we need mounts. I was thinking that maybe I like the idea of a item sync like invention, but I hate the idea of like micro customizations on every item. I love you look at someone, you know exactly what they're wearing. You could if you're like have enough game knowledge and it's not that much, you know exactly what their strength bonus is, what their max
Yeah,
hit is. I hate the micro customizations. I visually and mechanically, I just it's not RuneScape to me. So if invention
understandable.
came into the game, I wouldn't want it to turn into that. But
It
I do
would
like an item
though.
sync.
It, w-
I know.
it would be impossible to add it without, because you could have like theoretically you can put the worst items together and make something. that you could put on your weapon. So like not like if you got I don't know. There's ways that they could do it, but I'm with you on that. But depending on how OSRS goes down the road, like with the way that they're talking about with items like how do we deal with power creep, how do we deal with this stuff, depending on the way that it starts going, it's going to need some sort of sync, like some way
I agree.
to like make some
I
of these
agree.
items. Like imagine if, here's a good example of it. Imagine if like Justisher components broke down to something that gave you like really valuable stuff on your like or your chest or legs, right? So it was like you had these Justisher, and then okay, so now Theater of Blood becomes really important and viable to run, like for anybody. And then Justisher goes up in price because it's actually useful now. It does stuff like that where it's like there never will be a Sanguine SD problem or a Rapier problem because like those items can break down into very valuable things that you might need. That I think that's the point of invention. I'm not saying they should add it to the game. I'm saying that if they were to do something along those lines, it could save a lot of like dead content like that from the past.
I agree. I just disagree on like what it looks like. I think there's maybe a way to make that stuff more useful without like putting
I agree with this.
Gem slots on your gear like WoW or like a lot of these other games where there's crazy customization and you have to like really like know what the meta is and have like 2 sets of gear for different things. You know what I mean? It just makes it too much in my opinion.
Just so we're clear, I'm with you on that. Like I don't want that either. I add that portion of it is just like bad. But you know, you need so many things, it'd be ridiculous. But yeah. What about
I'd say we call it there. If anyone in the comments has listened this far and has an idea for what they would pitch as their skill, let us know. I'm super interested to see if there's anything outside of like the couple that you kind of hear cycled around, and I'd love to hear some like interesting, unique ideas. And also tell us what you think about the our tier list and what our picks. And I swear to God, if you don't put your RSN and you criticize our sailing take, I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah, put your RSN in. And don't lie either. We'll know.
Yeah. We'll know.
All right. Well, that's all from us. Peace out, boys.
Yeah, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon with another video or podcast or something.
Something.
All right, later.